Yeah.
Keeping it, excuse me. Thanks for listening to the AZ Wildcats podcast. I am your host, Michael Luke, joined by Mr. Jason Shear. Hello, Jason Shear. How are you doing today?
Splendid, Michael. How are you?
All right. We have got a lot to get through this show. We are going to talk about Arizona NAU. We are going to talk about, let's see here. We're going to talk about Kansas State, a little bit of a look ahead. I know we get in trouble on look aheads. I do not care. We will do this as well. And then we're going to talk about Tyler Loop. Maybe we can get an apology from Jason Shear for some of the scurrilous apathy that Jason Shear has shown to Tyler Loop. But first, Shear, Arizona, NAU. I'm going to say the same thing that I said against New Mexico, although it didn't really happen. I need Arizona to beat the snot out of NAU, and I need the defense to not give up, 31 points. I need Arizona's this is what I'm really going to be watching, is Arizona's defense. We'll get to the offense in a second.
Yeah, because I assume the offense is going to score at will or pretty high. The defense is what I'm interested in because, like we said, is it a one-off? Like it has to be a one-off because they play Kansas State, 6 days from tomorrow's game and a week from today. And it's like, man, if your defense was bad against New Mexico and bad against NAU, they're in for a long day on Friday.
Yeah, exactly. And there is no Devin Dampier on this team as well. I mean, who is better than I think either one of us thought. He's quite good. Devin Dampier, though, not on NAU. Also, with Arizona, don't do stupid things. Dwayne Aquina talked about that in his presser this week as well. He said, yeah, it's about taking care of your responsibilities. It felt like that entire game, Arizona was losing contain, doing dumb things with the defensive backs, just a lot of stuff that didn't make a lot of sense, Skier.
Yeah, it was weird. And, I like that Aquina changed his strategy, but at the same time, he basically said, he kind of admitted they were out-coached that game. Right. And I like Bronco, and I think he's a good coach, but like he said, look, we planned for Dampier not running as much because of what they did the previous week, and then he ran, and we had to switch. And, I applaud him for switching, but at the same time, it was like, probably shouldn't have taken so long, and it's like Dampier just got the better of Arizona, and again, I don't want to look ahead, but that's what we do. Avery Johnson.
Yeah. Now let's look at now in the second half, things were better, obviously, for Arizona, and I think that's what you're hoping for. This all starts to me too. I'm going to be watching the edges very closely. I'm going to be watching Trey Smith. I'm going to be watching Ty. I'm going to be seeing what they can do because I'd like to see them in the backfield, but also not lose containment. Jason Shear.
Yeah, I don't worry about containment as much because Pennington will run a little bit, but he's not like a Dampier runner. But I need them to get to the quarterback. Like I need quarterback pressure. I mean, they pressured a pretty decent amount against New Mexico. It just didn't look like it because of Dampier's mobility. They should be able to have some sacks here this week.
Yes. All right. Now, the guys in the middle, Chuba May. You were talking bad about Chuba yesterday, Jason Shear. You were talking bad about him. Do I look for another solid performance out of Chuba?
Yeah, despite the fact that you don't think he should be starting, I like Chuba a lot. I think they're good. I have no problem with the interior defensive line. I don't think they played poorly against New Mexico. I think they're pretty solid. To me, we're likely headed to less of a rotation. Arizona played 13 defensive linemen in the season opener. I don't think that happens in a competitive game, but we'll see.
Yeah. All right. Now the secondary as well. Gunnar Maldonado back. We like that. Obviously with Gunnar Maldonado. Then you have. I'm going to be very curious to see what they do with the secondary. Owen Goss didn't play much against New Mexico. What do you think about that?
I don't think they play the dollar at all this week. Okay. I think they're saving the dollar for Kansas State. And they will play it quite a bit against Kansas State. There's no need to show anything. And I think Goss will have his coming out party against Kansas State. I think he'll play more snaps that game than he probably did in the first two combined.
Now, JP66 says their positioning was so bad last week. And yes, that was what was painful about it, is that it just looked like, like when you do something and you just kind of look awkward doing it, which is basically my life, where you look awkward doing something and then you're just out of position and everyone goes right by you. That's kind of what it felt like with, I don't know if that's a good example, but either way, that's kind of what I felt like, though, watching Arizona against New Mexico. It just looked like they were out of position the whole time.
Well, we asked Akina too. We're like, look, you said you want the defensive line to be vertical. We get it, but is that what happened? Like they were just vertical and Dampier was running around. And he goes, no, absolutely not. We were supposed to contain, and our guys just didn't contain. And he said a lot of times what happens is with a running quarterback, you kind of get excited and think you're going to go get them, but that's discipline. It all comes back to discipline. Everything that went wrong Saturday for the defense, the penalties, the edge containment, all that goes back to discipline.
Yeah, that's exactly what it comes back to. Now, defensive back on the Genesis Smith. You actually called that interception there, Jason Shearer. I got to give you a lot of credit on that one.
I do what I do, Mike.
You do what you do. Yes. Tacario Davis, don't do dumb things. Tacario Davis to me was kind of the epitome of that game against New Mexico. Generally, he's a mild-mannered kid, good teammate, all of that. And he's just doing silly things out there. These guys look like they were I don't know if you can be overhyped, but yeah, overhyped for that game.
It was weird. It was really weird because, again, like that's not him. It's just not. If you talk to Tacario and all that, it's just, unless there's a Tacario we don't know about, it doesn't come across as him. Good. Get it out of your system. Right? Don't do it again.
Right. Okay. Now,
that's simple. It's out of your system. Cool. It happens again. It's an issue.
All right. Now, Ryan Neal says, I know nobody comments on injuries anymore within the Arizona program, but what should we expect to hear? What is up with Rhino? Rhino's a couple weeks.
Look at you. Thank you. Yeah, what Mike said. I don't see him playing. I think in an ideal world, you have him play Friday. The shortened week isn't going to help. They have the bye week after that. Utah, to me, is probably the realistic goal.
Yes, Utah, and again, because you got the bye week in there as well. I'm not, so I got, that's where it is. Matthew Lado. All eyes are going to be on Matthew Lado in this game. All right. Oh, hey, sure. We need the disclaimer, by the way. Patrick Valenzuela. Any idea if Justin Flo has more of a role defensively? Sure. What say you?
No, he will not have more of a role. Now, I will say this, but there's a caveat. They are actively going to try to rotate Tate. Tate Brown played way too much. Mm-hmm. He played the most, like 83 snaps or something like that. They are actively going to take him out. The issues, I still don't think it's Flo. I think it would be Camu over Flo, but we'll find out.
I think it would be Camu. Now, Joseph, who is the leader of the Justin Flo fan club, I think with here's the problem. He's just not in the right position. I don't know what to say. Listen, when you have 4 different coaching staffs that are all kind of like, yeah, we can't really play the guy. At some point, there's something there.
This isn't a Bondurant situation, because remember, like, Stoops wouldn't play Bondurant, and then Kitch is like, we're going to get him in. Because Bondurant was still like, we all kind of knew that he was good.
And that was a one coaching mistake. That wasn't 4 coaches or staffs that passed up on it.
Exactly. This is just like, he's just not that good. Like, it's like, guys, I understand we all want him to play, but it's not like Danny Gonzalez has some. Danny Gonzalez is trying. He would love to play Justin Flo. He loves that kid. It's just not. He's
a good kid. He's very physically talented. There's just no way to get him on the field. I don't know what else to say. It's really kind of that simple.
I'm trying to find his PFF Justin Flo.
Oh, PFF. Oh, I will let other people talk about that. Now, let's get to the offensive side of the football, because offense is fun. Arizona's got a good offense. Matthew Lado. Now, listen, this is definitely earlier than I think anybody would like to have Matthew Lado into the game. But listen, this is a guy that played fairly well against NAU. And if you were to ask me right now, who are your starting tackles next year, I would probably say it's going to be Lado and Rhino.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, I found it, Mike. Justin Flo has a ridiculous 16% missed tackle rate. So he is not the best tackle.
Right.
He missed all by himself 7 tackles, and he had 36 last year. That's pretty bad. That's real bad.
I mean, I don't know what to say. And again, Joseph, when you've got 4 different staffs that all said the same thing at some point, that's a Flo issue. But Matthew Lado, all eyes are going to be on him. Now, I do like, obviously, moving Jonah Savanea over to left tackle. I don't understand why they didn't do that to begin with, but Big Rhino looked good. No problem with that. Big Rhino looked good. But with Big Jonah, At left tackle, you're going to be able to help out Matthew Lado. This is going to be a good crash course because I would imagine he's going to be starting against Kansas State.
Yeah, and Brennan was very clear. I think people need to realize, like, it's almost hard to criticize Lado for whatever's about to happen in the next few weeks, right? Like, we're going to, because that's what we do. But he's a true freshman offensive lineman, right? So, like, NAU, he should play well. Like, it's NAU. But, man, if he starts at Kansas State on the road and he even plays an average game, what a huge deal for that kid, because they're very clearly going to attack him.
Also, think about it this way, too. Maybe we have a little Caden Luke helping out as well. Our guy, Caden Luke, in the backfield. What say you?
Yeah, and I've said this before. Caden Luke is going to be in the backfield. We saw the 6 offensive lineman formation. There are things that this offense hasn't shown that they are going to bring out. Probably not tomorrow. Maybe they bring out one thing.
If they have to use it against NAU, it's a problem.
Right, but 2 weeks after that, Kansas State, Utah, after bye and all that, they're going to show some stuff, and it's tight ends, fullbacks, motion, all that.
All right, now what do you think about Mr. Kevin Thomas says? What kind of flooring do you think Mr. Kevin Thomas has? He seems like a really smart man.
I would hope Empire flooring.
And yeah, I would assume, and I don't think that there's any way that he doesn't have Empire Flooring. Here's the deal with Empire Flooring. Schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners can receive $350 off discount when you use promo code PHNX. Restrictions apply. See empiretoday.com/PHNX for details. Again, Empire Flooring. My parents listen to nothing that I have to say, but guess what? They have Empire Flooring, which means, if we're meeting in the middle on something, you can as well. Sheer, you have Empire Flooring, and even if you don't, you should say you do.
I do, absolutely. What a great company.
All right, so Sheer, Kevin Thomas, my parents all have Empire Flooring. Get on board. Okay, now game time. Sheer, again, your read, not mine.
Alamo Bowl. I'm there. I'm in the lobby of our very nice hotel. Guy's chilling with his daughter. I said, "You going to the game?" He goes, "I am." I said, "Where are you sitting?" He goes, "I don't have tickets yet." And we're waiting for the shuttle. I said, "What?" And then boom, before you know it, he's like, "Game time. Go in game time and get the tickets. Done."
And Erica, the great Erica Elday also says that she used Game Times. I also got tickets to 21 Pilots with Game Time. Very, very good. What say you, Kevin Thomas?
I say that I'm looking at using Game Time as well coming up. There's a Mercury game. They're giving away Diane Taurasi bobbleheads to the first 2,500 people. September 19th, I'm looking at using Game Time for that, possibly $20 off with code PHNX.
Now you're probably going to ask, you're probably going to say, Kevin Thomas, how can you get a hold of this? Here's the deal. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code PHNX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code PHNX for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time. Ooh. Also, by the way, one person that I'm sure doesn't have Empire Flooring?
Who?
Jacob Franklin. There is no way that guy has Empire Flooring. We don't believe that this is true.
Yeah.
No, there's just not a chance. Okay, now let's get back to some Arizona offense here, and then we're going to talk about the kicking game a little bit as well. All right, the Arizona offense with Noah Fifita. I have no problem with how they played at all. One thing that I would like to see is just to shut some people up is I think you're going to see Jeremiah Patterson sooner than later. I know that there's trolls on Twitter like Glenn that are saying, one catch for 7 yards. Well, you didn't watch the game, Glenn, because if you watch the game, if you saw him returning kicks, this dude's got the burst, this dude's got the wiggle. There's going to be a game when we're going to be talking on Monday, Sheer. I don't know when it is, and he's going to have like 3 catches for 110 yards. That day is coming.
Yeah, I have no issues with Patterson. I don't worry about him at all. We saw his explosiveness on the kickoff returns. Yeah, he didn't bring one back, but when you're averaging 35 yards of kickoff returns that are designed for you not to, like, the kickoff return isn't even a thing anymore in football. Yeah, I don't worry about him at all. You're right. It could be Saturday. There's going to be a game where he goes off. There's
going to be a game, and again, we've seen it. This isn't one of these things like an Anthony Johnson or something where we have to pretend, he looks good in camp. This dude is good. You're going to see this. You're also going to see some. I love that. I have my mug, by the way. I should get that mug back here. But you're also going to see a game, I think, with Kean Burnett at some point where Kean Burnett's going to have like 4 for 84 and 2 touchdowns or something. That is going to occur, and that's going to occur sooner than later.
We're just telling everybody what's going to happen, Mike. And if they don't choose to believe us, that's on them.
We're oracles of knowledge. We're beacons of light in an uncertain world. That's really what we're at this point.
Yes.
Now, offensively, T-Mac, do you think he takes a step back and only catches for 200 yards in this game?
I was wondering, I bet you I could see him having like a 5-catch, 110-yard day.
I can see that.
I think he's going to be out. I think NAU is going to bracket him because I think Brian Wright, I actually like NAU's coach looking into him. He seems like a smart guy, and that won't single cover T-Mac.
By the way, look at Gringo Billy's comment. That was very, very funny. Glenn drinks mouthwash. I will not go that far, but I think Glenn is a good guy, but they won't throw as Michael. What does this mean? My hope is T-Mac isn't playing in the second half. TR Burns 826. Listen, I think he's going to play a little bit, just mainly because they want to put the stats up there to be able to get him, as much notoriety as possible. But I'm cool with midway through the third quarter, T-Mac 5 catches, 110 yards, 2 touchdowns, and you're like, shoo, go to the bench. We'll bring somebody else in.
What's funny is, like, if he has like 5 catches for 75 yards at his score, because of what he did last week, we'll be like, oh, that's it.
You know what I do like, though? Have you noticed on Twitter, the national folks are now trying to talk like about how, as if they knew that T-Mac was the best wide receiver in the country. I can't remember who it was. I can't remember who it was.
Everyone, because 2 nights before that, Travis Hunter was the greatest receiver to play ever in college football. And me and you were on Twitter being like, no,
it's T-Mac
is the best receiver in the country. Calm down.
Yeah, there's this Colorado troll. His name's like Dalvin the Truth or something that kept putting that out there. And I'm like, no. You don't know what you're talking about. But somebody that does know what he's talking about is the precocious Kevin Thomas. Kevin Thomas.
Yes, indeed. We know this. But I just wanted to say, like, do you guys think we might see more T-Mac into the third quarter? Maybe not because of the stats or notoriety, but because they don't have as many tune-up games. You don't have a game against like a Stanford or a random UCLA game this year. You're going right into the K-States, right into the Utahs. Like, with a first-year coach, do you think they just want to see more in like real live fire?
I think he does. I think he goes the first drive or 2 into the third quarter, ideally, and then I think he's out. I think he gets.
We hope the score indicates.
Well, yeah. Again, if Kevin Thomas is sending me the halftime graphic and it's 27-21 again, we will not be happy.
Yeah. I look, in an ideal world, based on the score, I don't think T-Mac plays. I don't think Noah plays. I think Noah is probably more likely to play than T-Mac, actually.
But I am okay with that because Joseph, I think it was Joseph that said in there, we need to get, I think that the fans are going to be a little, I think they're going to be, if Cole Tannenbaum gets in the game, I think fans are going to be impressed. Again, I know that he's not, this world beater. I get all of that. But Cole Tannenbaum, I think people will see that if you have to play Cole Tannenbaum, it's not the worst thing in the world.
Dude, this coaching staff loves Cole Tannenbaum.
They do.
Loves him.
Who loves Cole Tan? Or what's a stronger love, Dwayne Aquina for Chris McAllister or Brent Brennan for Cole Tannenbaum?
Aquina for McAllister.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. Like, you need to find. Like, I even tweet at the time, like, find you someone that loves you, like Aquina loves McAllister.
Does Shelby love you as much as Aquina loves Chris McAllister? Yeah, not even close. I don't blame her. I don't blame her. Yes, Joseph, we got to give Louis Riddick. We like Louis Riddick a great deal on this show. Louis Riddick, you know what I like about Louis Riddick? Louis Riddick is the commentator that comes on a game and you can tell he did his homework. You can tell he watched film. You can tell he knows what he's talking about. Because I remember watching him last year and he's like, this dude outside of Marvin Harrison Jr. is about as good as it gets. And he's right. Duh. And he, go ahead, sure.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, I know who the announcers are. I don't know who they actually are. It's Chris Sylvester, Brad Hopkins, and Shane Sparks. So I'm curious. It's one of like the ESPN Plus crews.
Right.
But I bet you they do more research than Rod Gilmore.
It can't be worse than Rod Gilmore. That's one thing. It cannot be worse than Rod Gilmore. Now, let's talk about Corey Krosky-Merritt in the running game because that certainly merits a mention. This is going to be there's going to be a time in a game this season, and heck, it might be against Kansas State. I don't know when it's going to be, but there's going to be a time when it's like 16-13 or something like that, and Arizona just needs to bleed the clock out, and you've got 2 backs that I believe can do it. I think you've got an O-line in front of them. Just keep this one going, man. That's all I say.
Yeah, I love Jacory and Quali. I still think people are underrating him. I really do. Right. And there's going to be a game where they help control the clock, the score, and all that, and I think they'll get national attention because of it.
All right, now Patrick Valenzuela, P-Val. I like P-Val. I said all my homies hate Rod Gilmore. Good. These are smart people. By the way, Bear Down Cats 96 with the comment of the chat so far. Cole Tannenbaum sounds like a guy that was all state but had to go to World War II. That is so true. Exactly.
That is good. That is good.
It's like, yeah, he had a full scholarship to Missouri, but you know what? General Patton came calling or something like that. That is very, very good. Okay, now Braden Dorman question. Braden Dorman was a CPU controlled Heisman finalist and a 93 in the video game for 2026. Thoughts? That's why you don't go by video games.
Yeah, I think I cut Braden Dorman in my game.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say on that.
I landed a 4-star quarterback, and I think I cut Dorman.
All right. Well, the 4-star quarterback could have been Braden Dorman. Either way, we're not going to turn this into Braden Dorman, but people around Braden Dorman, be nice. Be nice. No reason to bash anybody else. But Cole Tannenbaum, if he gets in the game, I think people are going to understand that he doesn't stink. Now, again, I don't expect this to be a situation where Cole Tannenbaum comes in the game and you're like, whoa, should he maybe be starting? He's not that good. This isn't going to be a Noah Fafita JDL 2.0, is it, Sheer?
No. There's no guy remotely close to that.
There's yes, exactly. Although
I love Cole, but that is a major drop off.
Okay, now every season, all right. Now let's talk about Fam, Rayshon, Speedy Luke. I still like my idea, man. We're gonna talk. We like Fam a great deal on the show. We like Fam's family. I still would love to see him redshirt. I just don't see where the carries are going to come from this year, and that's not disrespect to Fam. That's just that these two in front of him are 2-3 years older than him, and they're really good.
I think it's tough, Mike. Like they gave him a touch against New Mexico, so that's 1 game out. So now he's got 3 games left. He's probably going to get touches this week. That's 2 games, and then what? Like he's done for the rest of the season, pretty much.
I don't know, man, but I'm just saying I don't want to waste a season where he's getting 2 to 3 touches per game. I can't.
I agree. No, I agree with you. I'm just saying it feels like they don't intend to redshirt him.
All right, I guess we'll find out on that one. I don't love that at all, but we will see. Okay, now, Big Jonah Sabanea at left tackle. I thought that he should have been in left tackle all camp, but whatever. Big Rhino was fine. The difference, I think people are about to find out nationally, if they don't already know, just how good he is. He is he's a specimen, and I do believe as we get closer to the draft, you're going to see him on a lot of top 15 boards.
Yeah. And look, the fact that he could just move over to left tackle and which he barely practiced and look really good doing it. He could play right tackle. You could probably teach him center for a couple weeks and he'd be good there. He could probably play guard. The dude's going to go to the NFL and have a very long career.
If you're an NFL team, why would you not pick him in the top 15? Because he can play every single position and maybe even plays tight end.
Yep. Yeah. And Ben nailed it. When Ben watched it, Ben said, I'd love to see him is tight end. So it's why not?
He said that too. And he talked about the fullback as well. He talked about the tight end and the fullback, and he said he could do both of those. And he would be interested to see, how they could, how he could perform in both of them. So I guess we will find out. But either way, Jonah Sabanea, very, very good. All right. Now we're going to get to something that Sheer deserves. Sheer, we are going to get an apology possibly from Sheer, although Sheer doesn't apologize. But first, neutral. All right, here's the deal with neutral. All right, you might say Erica L. Day. That is somebody that looks like she likes to have a lot of fun. She does. Neutral, a big part of Erica L. Day's experience. Check out Neutral. Again, very good drink. Sure, have you ever had Neutral before?
All the time.
It's very, very good. And again, you can get it at most your spots, and it's not super caloric as well. So if you're like Mike Luke and you're like, man, I got to watch my frame and my physique, then Neutral is here. Kevin Thomas, does Kevin Thomas strike us as a neutral drinker? He is from St. Louis.
Yes.
I don't really go for seltzers often, but when I do, it's probably a neutral, to be honest.
Hey, that's like one of those things, like the Dos Equis guy.
Yeah.
When he's like, I can't remember. But when I do drink, I drink those. Yeah. Either way, be like Kevin Thomas and drink neutral. Either way, Sheer, Kevin Thomas, much cooler than Sheer. We agree that there's no way that Jacob Franklin drinks neutral.
No, absolutely not.
Not. And I got one other one for you. Branded Bills. Now, look at this. Look at this hat. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. You could be like me and have a branded Bills hat, and it will be branded. Get it? Check it out. Branded Bills, all kinds of really good stuff. Oh, look at Kevin Thomas. He has the exact same hat. You know what?
I went to the U of A bookstore. I'm going to get tomorrow, and they have a big branded Bills section, but they're not 20% off. So.
Ooh, Sheer is already. It's almost like Sheer's part of the PHNX family. Wink, wink with those kind of things. Branded Bills. Head to brandedbills.com and use code PHNX for 20% off your first purchase. Again, this is very good. They have partnerships with the U of A as part of their campus collection. Branded Bills, all kinds of good stuff. Kevin Thomas wears it. I will wear it. Kevin Thomas is better than me, so obviously follow the Kevin Thomas blueprint. Okay, Sheer. Now we got to talk about Tyler Loop. So I met in person. I met the great Steve Loop, who is a big fan of Whataburger, by the way, very much like Whataburger. But Steve Loop, I told him, I was like, your kid's going to play in the NFL. And he's very, gracious guy. And, I get all of that. Dude, Tyler Loop, joking aside, is a phenomenon for Arizona. We've seen a lot of bad kickers here at the U of A. Kickers that kick the ball into the butt of the center, kickers that kick the ball into the head of the tackle and give them a concussion. We have seen it all. Tyler Loop is an All-American type. You did not put him on your All Big 12 list. This is the time for you to sit here and apologize to the masses. Do it.
I said I tried to spread the love, and I gave the West Virginia kicker.
Oh,
and Tyler Loop is better than him. Tyler Loop is very clearly one of the best kickers in the country, and I'm a nice man, despite what people think. And I tried to be too nice, and I should just gone with Tyler Loop.
Yeah, all right. So you do.
I don't say the word sorry, but that's pretty damn close.
You do. All right. So is this an SRY? No, just not a full sorry.
Right. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So Tyler Loop is clearly, and I don't want to jinx it here.
No, you won't. But
Steve's a good human. Steve spent last weekend with Shelby and Brielle at a tailgate. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna see Steve tomorrow, probably.
Yes. I do think that he is going to, I do believe, and I think Brent Brennan said this as well. He's like, the ball just sounds different coming off his foot. I believe Tyler Loop is going to be in the NFL. And you know what I like about Tyler Loop as well? I do not, again, this isn't a shot to Lucas Haversek, but Haversek had a big leg, but it always felt like it was kind of like Nick Folk. Like 50% would go in, 50% wouldn't, but you could tell that he had distance from like 85 yards. Tyler Loop's kicks all go in, it seems.
Yeah, again, knock on wood. But yeah, it just sounds different. And Haversek has a huge leg, but Loop is just like, and he's got a swagger about him. It's all business. Tyler Loop's the man. We love Loop.
Yes.
He's not the best UA kicker of all time.
Not even close. No. You got multiple Groza Award winners.
The dude they're honoring tomorrow is probably right.
Steve McLaughlin?
Max
Sendejas, I think he's second. It's Steve McLaughlin's first. He won the Groza Award. He was a third-round pick by the St. Louis Rams.
Imagine choosing a kicker in the third round now.
Oh, I know. It's crazy. But I also do believe that with kickers, I believe kickers are very underutilized when it comes to scholarships. Kevin Woodman and I used to always talk about, and Kevin's like, I'm not using a scholarship on a kicker. You're wrong. You are wrong. You use a scholarship on a kicker. You know how much more important a kicker is than the third string safety?
And now you're going to do it anyway with the 105. I would say you get 2 scholarship kickers.
I've always thought that. Why would you not have 2 scholarship kickers? It makes too much sense not to.
Yeah, I mean, the best kickers Arizona's had are scholarship guys. Like, look at Salgado Medina. He's going to be really good. Scholarship guy.
Go ahead and do it. Again, Tyler Loop, a big fan. Sheer does apologize. I will say this. No apology for Michael Luke on this one because I was right. Sheer, I'm glad that you came along. Tyler Loop, though, a legend. If you see Steve Loop out there, go and you know what I told Steve Loop and his lovely wife? I said, thank you for creating Tyler. I mean, I think that's probably the best compliment you could give a parent.
Not as good as it gets in the compliment area.
Like if somebody came up to you and said, thank you for creating your daughter, like, is there anything that you could, is there anything better than that?
Nothing. What a compliment. Right. You're so good at that.
And plus, he likes Whataburger as well. So again, that's a big.
He's from Texas, of course he does.
Yeah, it's a big feather in his cap, along with Tyler Loop. Okay, now we're gonna get back to the game in a second, but something I wanted to talk about here for a second that I wanted to. I don't know if I want to clarify, but People on your board got on me a little bit. I do not care. I knew this was going to be the case. I believe that Arizona should do a better job of marketing its players, but I do not blame the individual SIDs here. Like a dude like Brett is fantastic to me. Brett helped me out with my parking pass and everything. Brett is great. Nate's a really good dude as well. It's not, but this is just something that is on and on down the line, and it's been this way for a long time where U of A just doesn't give access. I'm not blaming anybody in particular, but I look up the road and they give access to everybody, and basically it's we'll trust you until you give us a reason not to trust. What say you, Jason Shear?
Yeah, I mean, look, in an ideal world, you get access, but it's weird how, like, it's just handled so differently. Like the NFL with access, and I know it's different, right? But it's very uniform. Obviously, you have to. Here's what you have to do. I look at Texas. Do you know at Texas, the OC talks with the media, the OC and the DC talks with the media in camp, and that's it. That's it.
But those are schools.
But if I'm at a school like Arizona, I'm trying to make everyone available at all times, and I give credit for the pressers and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, and ASU does a good job, or Doug does a good job in that area.
Well, I guess that's what I'm just saying, though. Arizona has so many different guys that you could really market that people, I think, would get. I mean, everybody knows about Noah and T-Mac, but people don't really know Big Jonah's story on how he got here. That's a fascinating story. This dude should have been a top or 5-star lineman. How he got here. Wendell Moy, same thing. Again, I know some of these guys are quiet, but that's just to me where the U of A, and again, I'm not blaming anybody in particular. It's just been the way it is down the line. Whereas Doug comes in and basically says, all right, you want the quarterback? Let's get him on there and let's see how it works. I think Arizona misses an opportunity there. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Well, anyways, I was hoping you would disagree with me, but you did not disagree with me. Okay, now we are going to look ahead now a little bit. Again, we're assuming, and I know the old phrase, when you assume it makes an ass out of you and me, I do not care. Arizona, Kansas State is less than a week. I will be up in Manhattan, Kansas, eating some of the most delicious seafood that the Midwest has to provide, along with the GOAT, Brian Jeffries. By the way, do you think the GOAT, what a picture, a goat eating seafood.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really good. All right. This game is, I've said
this ahead right now. Are we doing what pisses people off?
Yeah, I don't care. I'm going to do that.
I like that.
Right. Yes. So let's talk about this a little bit. If you had to win one game, Kansas State or Utah, it's 1000% Utah. It's a conference game. Utah right now is the highest rated team in the conference. They were picked to win the conference. That's where the target date, I believe, to get Matthew Lado back is. I mean, not Matthew Lado.
Yeah. I mean, every game is a big game, Mike. That's my mentality. But
one game at a time.
Right. I mean, obviously, it's not a conference game. Utah is a conference game. You'd be going on the road, beating Utah, and then your conference schedule all of a sudden becomes significantly easier if you get that done.
Yeah, you get that done. And again, this is going to be baptism by fire when it comes to Matthew Lado. Now, I've got to laud Matthew Lado on how he's. Yeah, that's good.
Look at that one. I like that one.
Yeah, no, I've got to laud Matthew Lado and merit more of a mention for Ja'Cory.
Wow.
Now, when it comes to this game, though, like I said, that's going to be a big part of it. And honestly, the defense is going to be absolutely. You're gonna be tested. We're gonna find out. Kansas State is the epitome of Kansas State feels like what Kansas State is. It's kind of a version of Utah, a different version, very well coached, tough, physical. It's going to be a really good test for Arizona, Jason Shear.
I'm pumped about it. Friday night, 5 o'clock for us. That place is going to be rocking. I'm gonna have a close eye. Kansas State plays Tulane. Tulane's not awful, so I'm gonna have a close eye on that game this weekend as well.
Why aren't you going, Jason Shear? You should have gone.
I'm going to another away game.
What away game are you going to?
I'm going to UCF. I'm going to
is that the game where you said is that the one where you said is Central Florida ready for Jason Shear? And then a guy.
Yeah, I said, should I enter you later this year? And many men, similar to like when Ben asked if he should enter places, many men said yes, enter me. So
yeah, just what happened, man. So again, check it out, though. Central Florida, my friends. Central Florida. Maybe Jason Shear will be there. I know the Brian Jeffries will. Yes, I would love to be able to go to that game as well. Check it out. Space Game. All right, now Kevin Thomas. The great Kevin Thomas knows that I can be all over the place with my ADHD. Thank you. Do not blame me. Blame my mind.
Yeah, very focused.
Yes, very focused when you talk with me. Now, but let's, Kevin Thomas has our previews for the NAU game. Look ahead. Okay. The all-time series. All right. Well, I would assume this all-time series is based off every single team that's ever played. Or every single, I don't know what this means, all-time series.
So it's their all-time record. So this is every game the football program's ever played in their history. So they're just under 500 all time because of the draws and stuff and the whatever that is, the no contest.
Right. Okay, I got you. All right. Very, very thank you, Kevin Thomas. Rivals, Southern Utah, and who can forget about those Southern Utah games? Those are the games those are where legends are made. When you've got Southern Utah and NAU come into town, you're really, really good. But either way,
it's the battle for the Grand Canyon, by the way.
Is it the battle? Wow.
Yeah, it's like the Grand Canyon Cup or something like that.
Interesting. No, I thought that was that was very interesting. I did not know that. All right, now, NAU though. Let's see here. Shear again. This is a game that Arizona should be able to beat the snot out of them. Do we have the keys to victory, Kevin Thomas? Okay, here's the deal. Defensive run containment. Agreed. Yes. Now, press coverage. I'd like to see more of that. I didn't like what the DBs were doing last time. I do understand that was probably the mindset. And run the ball. This is very, very simple. These are the keys to victory. This is what happens, Jason Shear.
Play better than NAU.
Yes.
Play better than you did on Saturday. That's my key to victory. Just be yourself and play Arizona football, and you will win. This isn't a team where you have to do anything crazy or anything like that. Just play your game, go out there, do what you do, and go win.
Okay, now Kevin Thomas, what say you? What is Kevin Thomas is coming from the arch city of St. Louis?
Yes, indeed. Honestly, I agree with most of your keys to victory here. I think that I don't know if running the ball is necessarily a key to victory. I like you to think that we should beat them in all phases. I don't really think that we should have to pound the ball to beat NAU. But yeah, I mean, I think defensively, if we come out with a better performance, better containment, we should stomp them, to be quite honest, to be quite frank.
Yes, I would agree with that. Now, you know what else I would agree with, Kevin Thomas? I took a picture today of a new Circle K that I have never been to today. But this was very, very exciting. First of all, Circle K, look at this here. This is off of like I-10 and like Palo Verde. But look at that street, Gas Avenue or Gas Road. You're
there all the time.
Do you go to Gas Road?
Only when I'm in the car with you, Mike.
All right, but either way, I saw this and I got super excited. I had the bulging eye emojis, but that's where I went to get gas. Look at that price too, $2.99, my friends. Check it out. Join the Inner Circle for free and get it even cheaper by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. Sheer, I know that you were very, when you saw that, I was very excited. You were very excited as well. I expect you to go to Gas Road and get gas at Circle K.
Yeah, I am.
All right. Now, all right. So you are. Will you do this today?
No, I got to go to the hospital today, but I am going to go to Gas Road.
All right, Gas Road. That's what it's about. That's again, be part of the community. Also, Gila River Resorts and Casinos. You know the deal. Come on, let's see it. Get in there. The wave, the Gila River. All right, Kevin Thomas, get in here as well. Let's see the wave. Come on. Oh, yes, the Gila River Resorts and Casinos, just like that. Oh, that looks good. Kevin Thomas has the best arm wave ever. Kevin Thomas is so much cooler than we are.
What can I say, Mike? I'm just trying to be like you at the end of the day.
But when you like you. I appreciate it. But when you see it from the road, you're thinking the wave. You're thinking that. And you do you at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Visit play@Gila.com for more details. At Gila River Resorts and Casinos, no one does it better. Sure, you have been to Gila River Resorts and Casinos. This is true.
Yeah, absolutely. Who hasn't? If you haven't, you're obviously there's something missing in your life.
Achieve legendary status. You do you. Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Now, let's see here. Gringo Billy says he does the wave all the time too. By the way, Erica L. Day Snapchatted me a picture of the wave. Very, very good stuff. And so when you get, check it out. Gila River Resorts and Casinos, a fun, immersive experience. Yes, Kevin Thomas adds some aura to the pod. You know what Kevin Thomas gives us that we've never had, Sheer? Kevin Thomas gives us a little bit of credibility, a little bit of when you see Kevin Thomas, or when you see Mike Luke and Jason Shearer, you're like, dude, I can push those guys around. Kevin Thomas comes at you with that little bit of that St. Louis swag. I like it. It's very, very good.
He adds a little flair, a little toughness.
Right. Yes. Now, yes. Either was BBN departure a canary in the coal mine? I don't know.
Calm down.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish I knew the answer to that. Let's see here. Simple Jack Endero. Wow, what a great name. Sounds like a cowboy. Just got in here. Is Gunner suiting up this week? I'd assume so.
I believe he is. I'm not positive. The spread's really. Did you see something? The spread dropped 10 points.
Yeah, I saw that. It was odd.
It's very odd. 35 points.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure, but I expect Arizona to be able to take care of that one, just like the Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Now with Kevin Thomas joining the equation again.
Hey guys. I just want to let you know a little sneak peek. I just simulated the game and double overtime win for Arizona 27-21.
Oh, that's not the that's not the
this
that's
game.
That's not.
This game
probably wouldn't have a show on Monday if that happens.
This EA college sports game is just going to drive me insane because that's 2 back-to-back games where Arizona didn't even score over 28 points.
Double OT against NAU.
NAU missed a field goal at the buzzer to win it in regulation. Hopefully that doesn't happen tomorrow because if it does happen, we won't even have a show.
I was going to say, yes, this channel is going away at that point. It would be awful if that was the case. We cannot have that, Saul Bookman. No more.
Anyway. I wanted to share my misery with you guys, so
I appreciate it. By the way, I like the shirt you got right there.
Thank you. You can get it it on our shop. How about that?
Where did you find this shirt, Saul Bookman?
The PHNX locker. Become a diehard and you can get it for free. Look at that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, guys, branded bills too. Look at that. This is a sweet hat. There you go. Where's your branded bills hat, Mike?
It's right here. It's right here. I was showing it all. I'll show.
Okay.
I got 2.
All right.
Very cool. Appreciate you, Saul Bookman. All right. We do not want a double overtime game against NAU, though. We would not be happy at all about that. Sure, this is true.
Very true. I think the spread probably dropped because 44 points in that series, based on the research that I did, Mike, would have been the biggest win of all time against NAU. Well, that's so many. We're like, no, it's only 5 touchdowns now.
When Arizona and NAU get together, you throw everything out the window. That's it's one of those.
We learned that a few years ago, didn't we?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Oklahoma, Texas, Arizona, NAU. Better rivalry.
Arizona, NAU, for sure.
Because here's the thing. You don't really know what could happen in any game. Although,
NAU is in the state of Arizona. If Arizona beats NAU, isn't Arizona's the best football program in the state?
All these other phony baloney rivalries, dude, Ohio State, Michigan, they're not even in the same state. Get out of here. Arizona, NAU, a real rivalry, Kevin Thomas.
I feel like this is tongue-in-cheek, but I had to just, for the sake of sanity, are we saying that Oklahoma, Texas, the Red River rivalry is really not as intense as
Arizona, NAU? You just haven't lived
long enough. You could go home. If you live in Texas, you could go home. You're not going to run into an Oklahoma fan. I'm surrounded by NAU people. Shelby's sister, NAU.
I know,
but the thing with the NAU is that they're never relevant nationally. Oklahoma, Texas is actually a big game for making it to where you want to win it all. That's a big game.
Anything manlier than a lumberjack, Kevin Thomas? Be honest.
Coal miner?
No, you'd rather be a lumberjack than a coal miner. Like a black lung disease.
NAU has sent 41 players to the NFL.
Dude, Kevin Thomas.
That's awesome. That is awesome. But it's not we're not playing for CFP. We could lose our CFP if we lose to NAU, but we're not gaining nothing by beating NAU.
Now, you're a Midwestern guy. Ohio State, Michigan does not have something that Arizona NAU has.
Again, it's just the relevance. Okay. But I do think I'm more of a fan of the U of A NAU rivalry than I am of Ohio State, Michigan, because that one just doesn't make a lot of sense at all.
This is for state supremacy. This is for voting rights in this.
Did I start a Twitter poll? I start a Twitter poll right now.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Now, Jake says Andy Reid got one of his coaching starts at NAU. Do you apologize about that, Kevin Thomas? I think Kevin Thomas should apologize for that. All right, but that's a big one.
Pulls up on Twitter.
All right, this is big. Okay, now we got a few minutes left here, and I said we'd talk a little bit of Arizona basketball recruiting. Everybody's asking about Tunde Yesufu. If you were to listen to the show, you would say that is Yesufu. I don't know how to put that one in there. He's not going to Arizona. He's going to the highest bidder. I don't expect him to go to ASU, though, either.
No, so what happened with Tunde is basically they brought him in on a visit. He said, I'm not going to commit. In fact, I'm going to extend my list. And they said, peace out. We're not recruiting you anymore. This was your chance. And they dropped him like within days of that visit. And he's just, they dropped him. UCLA dropped him for financial reasons too. Basically can afford Tunde and Koa Pete. Right. God bless them, but they can't. So
yeah, you said Baylor, Jason Shearer.
Tunde's got to go to Baylor. I think it fits. They could give him the NIL that he wants. Baylor, to me, is actually the best fit for Tunde.
He also is like I said, he's a very good fit there as well. He's got that same type of style. You're a bigger fan of Tunde than I am, though. So this is going to be an interesting one to watch how this plays out, Jason Shearer.
Yeah, I think he's good.
Okay, well, I didn't say he sucks, but I think this is going to be interesting.
Right now, Mike, we have 18 votes already. Right. It is 9-9.
I'm telling you, it's big. And what was the poll again?
Better rivalry, Arizona, NAU, Texas, Oklahoma.
Oh, that's a good one. You know, the only one that you didn't throw in there was Ohio State, Michigan.
I didn't want to confuse people.
You know what we should do? We should do a four-team poll where you've got Arizona, NAU, Duke, Carolina, and basketball. Although Duke, Carolina, and basketball has something that only Arizona, NAU does. They're both in the same state.
Right.
Ohio State, Michigan, get out of here. Texas, Oklahoma, get out of here as well. I don't know what to really say at that point, Jason Shearer.
And honestly, like I just, there's so much parity,
right,
with NAU and Arizona. You never know what you're going to get.
And anybody out there that is mocking NAU, just know for a fact that Andy Reid went there. Let's see you top. Let's see you top that.
Arizona NAU has taken the lead.
Ooh, it's good. This is big.
This could go national. This is a big national question.
I can't wait for somebody on the Sun Devils message boards to post about this and say, "Can you believe what FB1 is asking now?" That's going to happen. Okay. Now. All right. Before we sign off here, though, again, we got the post game tomorrow. We've got Tony Cimino, Jason Shearer's neighbor, Tony Cimino, when he isn't causing problems in the neighborhood association. Is he still causing problems?
Typical Cimino.
Dude, the guy it's just unreal. The lack of professionalism from him. He was up in the press box last game, right?
He was, yeah.
Now, let me guess. He was cheering and doing jumping jacks and just couldn't stop himself, right?
It's just typical unprofessional Cimino. He was cheering at one point, curse words flying. You know how he is.
Throwing his popcorn around. I mean, you just can't take. And Brad Ellis, who is a very good friend of Shelby Shears from the workplace. This is true.
Very true.
Yeah.
We're friends with everyone.
Here we are. All right. But no better time to become a PHNX diehard. You can get discounts on merch, get discounts on essentially everything. Become a membership diehard card, entrance to the Discord lounge, access to our premium written content, free t-shirt of your choice from the locker, all kinds of good stuff. Also, Skier, where can they find you?
WildcatAuthority.com in the Wildcat Scoop podcast with Shelby in the press box trying to calm Cimino down.
Oh, gosh, that guy. Okay, we'll be back with you on the post game. Again, everybody, very much appreciate all of you. But for Jason Shearer, for the I want to say the Archway Bandit. The Archway Bandit.
Archway Bandit.
Now that's something we can work with, Mike. That's something we can really work with.
All right, we have it. The Archway Bandit.
That's something to work with.
Are you writing this down?
Prodigious Archway Bandit.
Yeah, that's going to be my Twitter poll for me. Because should this be Kevin Thomas's new nickname, the Archway Bandit on the AZ podcast. I like that a lot. We will see. We're going to let the people vote on it because you're a man of the people, Kevin Thomas.
We're a big poll podcast. We love polls here.
We do love polls on this show very, very much. Okay, but for Jason Shearer, I am merely Mike Luke. We will be back with you. You have been listening to the AZ Wildcats podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.